Okay, time to make a video that always gets me in trouble with the napping community. I don't understand why, because guys do fog, guys grind with the diamond file. Guys grind with sandstone. It's all the same. It's all grinding. And if you're grinding like this, you're grinding. So I don't get it, but this is a slab of red glass. And the way I do slabs is, let me put my other glove on because of this dust. I have glasses. I have a mask that I wear most of the time, but I can't talk through a mask. And the COVID thing has made masks unique. But this is a 120 grit diamond burr on my dremel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hollow ground this. And I'm going to shoot to go right down the center. Now, you don't have to do this to do a slab. It's just easier for me because once I do this, I don't have to grind again. And you'll see what I do. I don't like the busy pattern, how it comes out when you normally do a slab without some kind of grinding. And I don't want to do all that fog grinding, grind a surface, curve, and all that stuff. So I'm going to get started grinding, so I won't talk for a little bit. You won't be able to hear me anyways. Now I'm going to try to narrate a little. The first thing I do is go down that chalk line. And you can see this dust, this isn't fine particulate dust. This is heavy dust particles. They sink right down to the ground. It's more like sand than microscopic dust, and the wind is helping me out, blowing it away. Now when you get to the ends, always turn so you don't flick the end off. Okay, so I looked at my timer on my video before I started, and I think that was about 3 minutes of grinding. No more than 3. Now, you ask, why would I do that? This face and this face of this slab are cut at, parallel, hopefully. We don't know that. And then this face is cut perpendicular. Hopefully. We don't know that. It could be cut at 85, which would make this side, say it was cut at 85 degrees and slanted to the left. So it's slicing like this. That would make this side flake really easy. But when you come to this side, your angle's wrong. So you got to push real hard, and then you snap it in half. I've seen it so many times. I watch people nap slabs. I normally don't nap slabs because I just have tons of rock. And I like the ridges. I like the random patterns and the little bit bigger flaking you can get. But what I'm going to show you is how easy now my flakes come off. See there, we're right there. Now what I'm doing is I'm just doing a little short flakes, and this is close, so they're going all the way anyways. But you notice I'm not into that. That's my center. That's going to be my secret weapon when I get a little bit deeper. I'm going to do a pass of this short little flakes pretty close together to try and get rid of the flatness. And whatever these flakes look like really doesn't matter all that much, because when I get down into my concavity, I'm hoping to erase them all. Anyways, you see how easy I'm doing that. And if that could be the finish, if it wasn't this thick, if that could be the finish, you'd be pretty good. But that's not the finish. A much thinner slab would work like that. But now this is the part I don't like. You see how the slab, how it gets all squiggly right here? And that's because it's flat. It's running up and then it's flat, and it really doesn't have a mind of where to go. But we're going to fix that once we get some flaking all around. And everybody does slabs different. See this? I don't even care about that because I'm going to get it from the bottom. I'm not making big deep flakes here. See, this side is cut different, and you can tell it's having a harder time for the flaker to grab it. And that looks good, but that squiggly stuff in the middle, I don't go for that. And then we'll turn it over and we'll do some short, easy flaking on the other side. See, this is all slippery here. The wrong direction. We'll put a little bit of mojo on there. See if we can get it. And if your flake doesn't do what you want it to do, don't just keep trying harder. You know, especially with glass. Glass should flake off of there with hardly anything. Okay, so there's a side and there's a side. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to go bigger flakes this time. We're going to go right on the edge of where my concavity is. I'm going to load in, load up, pop a deeper flake, load in, skip a space. See, there's some boogery stuff there. Let me get this bottom dealt with. There. See, that took care of that. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to change your plan. You got to change your plan to match what's going on. So now I'm getting bold flakes, which is what I like. And what I'm doing is I'm going to the deltas and I'm using them as my platform. See that bold flake? Let me back up a little bit. See that? I got a bold flake there and a bold flake there. And how I'm doing that is I'm increasing my spacing. And I'm going to a delta that just happens to be. See, that bold flake went all the way. Got to watch that or I'll blow the other side out. I'm skipping. And I'm using that concavity to pry the flake off, not push it off. If that makes sense to you. Come here. Do the same thing now. See, I got a bubble in the glass. You know, that happens. But you can see now, the flakes are running and they're more, they're bolder. They look more like percussion flakes. Still don't like that in the middle. I should have took a little bit more time, but I don't want this to be too long. And that's how I do. You can see I'm starting to clear up, and if I do another pass on these deltas, I'll clear that out. Now I'm not going to do, you know, the whole half-hour video because it's simply rinse and repeat. And you can see this pattern is, to me, for my taste, way better because it's bold flakes and not the little crunchily looking wavy ones. Although it is a little in the middle here. I'm going to do the other side and I'll be back to show you what that looks like.